It must have its foundation in data, and that's why we've moved from the views into the meta models. Now, it's only been out for a year. People are just starting to use it and learn it. And a training program hasn't come along with it. We went from 26 views, which were not data-centric, to 52 meta models that are much more data-centric and complex. But it is the language that we need to learn to enable us to create rules and processes so that we can take our capabilities and present them in decision models for our senior leaders to make decisions in the field. It is all about what Ron talked about. It is all about taking it to the functional capabilities in the field so that the military operators have functional utility. They don't care about all that stuff in the background. They don't care about what tool you're using. They want a functional utility that is useful for interoperability or integration. And when the Army, Navy, and Air Force converge in that tactical enclave, in that very small place, Iraq, Afghanistan, that they figure out how to come into that area and operate without killing each other so that they can operate and do their mission. And that's your responsibility. That is your responsibility to know your job and your career so well that you can develop and do architecting in such a way that we achieve interoperability. Now, the good news is that the headshed, the Office of Secretary of Defense, it realizes that, and it realizes the importance of architecture and has tightly integrated it into the acquisition process. And we have gone from a realm of where things were guidance, and we are now moving towards a plateau of compliance. When, Walt? Anybody know Mr. Wintergren? Mr. Wintergren says he's going to make it happen. And there will be a new directive coming out this year, next month, or very shortly thereafter, that he'll get to sign, or the new CIO will get to sign. And it will be much more prescriptive. Now, what does that do? The result is going to be that the role of architecting and the demand for an architecture workforce is going to go up. That the training responsibility is going to be important, that we get on the same language, and so that's where I come into this play. I wish I had Ron's job, because it's a lot more fun. It really is. If you're going to aspire to anything, aspire to his job. Let me know, Ron, when I can have your job. But the problem that we have is that nobody's speaking the exact same language. We want everybody to get together on this endeavor, and so we are working to develop and address the challenge so that everybody gains the skills to perform EA jobs. Next slide. Our approach is to develop a competency framework that we can publish and put out to everyone. I am not going to do the training. I can't do the FIAC job. I can't do it. I can't do the NDU job over at the Information Management Resource College, where they have an architecture certificate program. Nobody can do that job better than them. I can't teach at the defense universities. I'd like to. I can. Unfortunately, I'm in this job. So what we need to do is develop a core baseline of identified competencies that I can deliver to all those people that are responsible for courses, not only in DoD, but also in academia. In the commercial world, like where FIAC is, in the DoD universities and in the other countries. We're going to publish this architecture competency framework. It will affect employees, supervisors, hiring managers, programmers, and educators. A competency framework is a tool, if you will, by which course designers use to build their courses. And they will choose content, course description, that will deliver those competency, skills, and knowledges that the student needs to become proficient, so that when they come into Ron's organization, or an organization like Ron's, or even our organization, they can come on board much quicker, much faster. We have been working on this. I originally wrote the first white paper in 2008. We've reviewed it throughout 2009, and now we're doing the final technical and editing in 2010 with a delivery date and a publishing date of May 2010. May 2010, a couple weeks away. And he helped. Okay, next slide. So, how could this possibly be used? It can be used for career planning. Even if you're not an academic organization, you would want to look at this to know what those knowledge, skills, and abilities that are looking for in each type of architecture so that you could take the right courses. You would, supervisors would like to have something to help them write appraisals and do hiring, right? If they're going to hire, if Ron wants to hire somebody, he has to write a job description and advertise. Also for contracting, Mr. Wintergren has said that he's going to make sure that the prescriptiveness gets all the way into our FRPs and into our contracting officers so that they require architects to have certain competencies and education for the academic community so that it helps them develop the courses. So it has a lot of benefits. Next slide. So here's what OPM says on competencies, and what I'm concerned about is actually career development for you all, and career development for guys like John Fletcher. While they're in the universities and after they graduate and come into our Defense Information Systems Agency or the Army, Navy, and Air Force and begin to work their career, they should have some guidance. They should have an architect's career path available for them to see what type of architecting they can do and how can they move through the different levels of architecture. Next slide. So take a look here. This is just the high level, but there's different types of architecting jobs. You know, there's the data architect, there's the graphical architect, there's we have enterprise architect. There's 3 levels of architecture. You're familiar with the enterprise level, the segment level, and then the solution level consisting of systems and services, right? Next slide. We've looked at our factors and skill factors, and we looked at what OMB states are defined technical factors, and what is the family of architects, and that's in the 2210 series. We have to look at that a little bit more carefully now, because we know that architects are in other career fields other than the 2210. The 854, the 855, the 1515s, the 1550s, the 343s. We don't want to discount all those. We have to figure out with OPM what's the right direction to travel. Next slide.